Move this over to YouTube. Glad everything's moving pretty fast. I was worried things were going to get a little slow, but we've got it. Dismiss. Okay, I think it's live. Did it say live on here by chance or no? It did?
Yes.
Okay. What did it say?
It said that it's being sent to one or more apps.
Perfect. Okay. Oh yeah, I can see it up in this corner. You guys, I'm learning because you learn with me. Content. Okay, got it. Perfect. All right, my friends, we are going to get started. And I want to remind everybody next week, Monday is Memorial Day. And so we will do meeting on Tuesday. I think is important to have Memorial Day, through the weekend. A lot of families are off. And so just having that extended weekend and not having something on the calendar, I think is really important, especially when it's a holiday. So we will do that on Tuesday next week, not Monday, just so you know. And seminar registration is open, my friends. And so we are going to be in North Carolina. So if you've not seen the dates, it's July 28th through the 31st. And if you're new in Mary Kay, this is the first time it's ever been out of Dallas. So they're like going on the road. And if you don't know, they were doing construction at the place that we're normally at. And so we don't know what this looks like. We don't know anything about it. And so it's gonna be a first time situation, but they still have the awards night and everything. Last year, Sophia and I had a ball. Sitting there, we had a fashion show with all the gowns, with the stage, and we had like popcorn. It was amazing. So if you're like, yes, I want to be a part of that, we could break down the numbers. Oh yeah, I was supposed to post that. I didn't find the one that I wanted. I'm just gonna have to pick one, or a few that I saw and post it. And we'll break it down by sales of what you would need. And so it is a long drive. So I would suggest flying. Definitely. And I know that there's a lot of all the hotels are walking distance that Mary Kay posted. But you don't even have to stay at one of those hotels. You don't have to do it through Mary Kay. You can do it any way that you want to stay there. So I don't have a hotel that we're doing just yet. I'm not quite sure because this is new territory. So we'll see what that looks like. Okay, my friends. So I already talked about a seminar we talked about last month, and we are working hard for this month. We already did one giveaway every 2,000 wholesale that we do. I am sending out a super cute makeup bag, and not only is it super cute, I feel like it is so dang functional. So that is my biggest takeaway, is that it makes sense and we like it. And when we open it up, it works for us. And so every one that we do, I will be sending one out for you. And so Janie was the one that got the last one. All right. So turning in your numbers, we had Carlia and Sophia turn them in. If you do not know, we have a Google Doc that you can fill out. Even if you just fill it out, there is a spot on there that you can tell me what you're praying for. There is a spot on there you can tell me of something that you might want training. Even if you fill those out, we love you filling those out because it helps you look of what you probably need to track for the week and for the month. And so Sophia had 200. Oh my gosh, Sophia, I can't read my handwriting. 289, 284. 9 289. Okay, Sophia had 289 this week, and also their unit added a new team member. You guys, this is a big, big deal because they are working on their very first month in DIQ. Okay, Carlia, also, how much did you sell with your, do you know how much you sold with your um sun stuff?
I did, and so I think I did, so it's like 120.
Okay.
So I think I sold them for $20 a thing. So I only did like 5 or 6 and stuff. So it's like 120 and stuff like that. So I didn't do a whole lot or anything, but it
Okay.
was
we're gonna brag about Carlia because this isn't for the week. This is like an hour.
Yeah,
So she sold that like today. So
yeah.
we celebrate you. That's a big deal, girl. That's $100 day. And so we're excited for them and we're gonna celebrate them. Okay, so what is something you want to do? Share that you did this week, something that mattered, something that you're like, this made a difference.
I was working a lot with like my team this week, and so that was exciting, but still making sure that I got like my personal faces in. I've made it like a non-negotiable to see at least 5 faces a week, and then I'm trying to like average that to make 30 faces for the month. So some weeks I'll see a little bit more than 5, but like at least seeing 5. And so that I do feel like has really like benefited. And one thing I'm noticing is when you really do the formula of like 30 faces, you then truly get like the 3 by 3 by 300. Because I chatted with probably about 3 girls about the opportunity this week, and one joined. And so that's really exciting. And then having about 300 in sales. I know I was like just a smidge under that, but you know, you make up for it some weeks and some weeks you don't. But it just all really does average out. And so it's cool, like when you actually do the numbers and like track it. And they always say that like the numbers don't lie. And so whenever you are putting those numbers out on paper, you're not really able to get into your emotions about it, because then you're like, well, am I low on my numbers? Okay, well, that's why. So it really does help to be like tracking and to doing all of that. So if you don't track, I very highly encourage you, and to set a goal, like a higher goal than maybe what you've been doing. I saw it was supposed to be like a meme, but it was like, I told God my dreams and he laughed. And so meaning like to like go higher, not meaning like that you can't do it, but like meaning like go higher. And so I just think that that's something that I've really been working on too, is like, okay, I'm done with the bare minimum. Let's like see how high we can get it now. And so yeah, just having fun with my business and doing that. And I had a few again this week appointments that were $0 appointments. So again, it happens, but it all averages out and still making a really good profit. And I dropped like 300 bucks on a Memorial Day clothes sale for my whole family. So baby got clothes, the husband got some new clothes, I got some new gym clothes. So yeah, if you didn't know, Old Navy is having a Memorial Day sale that is absolutely phenomenal. So you can go over there too.
That was going to be my next question. I'm like, where did you go? And then also, where could it be if it was everybody in the family? Oh, that feels so good. I always talk about having your own money, that you know that, or maybe you work somewhere else, but having money to just give yourself permission to use it wherever your family needs it. So whether you're saving it or it's something extra that you might not be able to do. Carly said, Carlia, oh, it's the $1 flip-flop sale. See, that is why I'm like, oh, I know what it is now. I know what it is. Carlia got $1 flip-flops. Okay. And Sophia got clothes. We're not promoting Old Navy over. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we like Old Navy for sure. I think we always go like in winter and summer. We figured it out that we didn't even know that we did it. We figured it out last year. That is when we go, like 2 different times. Okay. So good. If you guys did not hear what Sophia said, and I'll probably have her hop in, because I've had a lot of people asking me about booking, about selling, and about the end of the appointment. And if you don't know, I have a rotation that we usually do, and we are right on point to talk about that. And so that's what I'm going to go over tonight for you. And so I love what Sophia talked about of tracking, and I want to remind everybody You see her and you're like, oh my gosh, not only is she cute, we know, and she's so sweet and everything that her activity is doing, but I promise you, she started the same way you did with Mary Kay. And I will tell everybody all the time that the moment that she's joined, she's like, can I be at your house? Can you? And I know I've talked about this, but you guys, this is what our company is about. Chris talked about, he's like, oh my gosh, Sophia ate dinner with us. I don't know how many, like, that's what he remembers about her starting. And that makes my heart beat for my family because that's how we do our Mary Kay business. And so she was always saying, can I watch? Can I be here? And then she's also taken a break before, you guys. Like, we have a story that she was sitting in my office and she was telling me all her problems with her business. And so I'm like, hey, like there's a tracking sheet, and we just start laughing. So I want to tell you, it doesn't matter where you're at. It matters where you start. It matters where you start now. It matters where you start tomorrow, to get where you want to be in your business. Oh, girl, yes. You know, if you're at my house, we feed you. That is, people don't feed other people. We're like, something's wrong with you. Like, you can't, you got to feed people. Okay. So we're going into the individual closed sales, parties booked, and then also booking. So when talking about having a goal, we're talking about Maverick, my youngest, and talking about his swim goal. And I said, here is the way that it looks like. If we have a goal, we know where it stops. So whether it is a short distance or a long distance, or you may have long distance and you may have stopping points where you can celebrate there. However, if you do not have a goal, then you are probably going in circles, or you might just get tired and like stop. Do you guys hear me? So can you imagine being like, hey guys, we're running. And then what if I'm like, Sophia, where are we going? She's like, I don't know. Where's the end? And she said, I don't know. I'd be like, peace out. I'm done. I'm not going to keep doing this. So you have to have a goal at something. Now, I want you to be able to break down your goal. And that's another training. But if you're like, I want $10,000, so I want to see 100 faces this month, could you do it? Sure. But I want you to also be smart and also understand your life of what time that you have, right? Oh my gosh, Carlia. That is funny, Carlia. Oh yeah, so you know all about that. All right, so let's talk about booking. Kay McCray and I were talking when I saw her on Saturday, and then I got to see Sophia, and Sophia's new unit member, future unit. Well, we're speaking that into it. And then I saw Amanda, but we were talking about booking, and she's like, I just feel like I keep saying like I need to do this. Where do I find it? And she's getting frustrated on um on just being frustrated of trying to find faces. And so at that point, you almost get raveled in what your thoughts were, and just kind of, instead of putting it like in front of you on paper. And I said, well, like, have you thought about, and I know you guys have heard me for this, but everybody's booking's going to sound different. We have a ton of scripts for you. Absolutely. But my suggestion for her was, you just need to find like at least 2 people and say, hey girl, like I've got a new skincare. For her, it was the skincare's changed now that she's hopping into her business, restarting it. And I said, well, why don't you just say, I've got a new skincare, write it on a piece of paper and read it. It's fine. Like, that is literally what you're doing. And so for some of you, it's like, hey, I'm jump starting my Mary Kay business and I've got a goal to see 15 faces. I've got a goal to see 30. So my skincare class is like on point. You guys, you can say that. Women want to help other women. And so I want you to remind yourself of what we have in Mary Kay, and versus getting caught up. I don't know who would, and what do I do? And then it just keeps going in circles and then we're not getting anywhere. That is frustrating for anybody. So my goal for you is to book 3 people. If you can hear the sound of my voice. Now, Sophia needs to book 6 because she's doing double of what everybody is doing double because they're building a unit. But I want you to book 3. I want you, the reason why I say that is because sometimes and I realize this with Kay, sometimes we're like, well, write a list and do this. I'm like, nope, I want you to book 3 and then write down who you booked. Okay, so that is my goal for you. Number 1, that will take kind of all the stuff away of booking. But before you book, you do need to know what day that you're going to do it. So maybe you do it on a Friday, maybe you do it on a Sunday afternoon, whatever it is. But I encourage you to have 3 people booked. And if you need a little bit more help on how you want to do that script or invite them, please reach out to me or Sophia, and we'll make sure it looks a little bit like yours. But my whole point to that is don't make it hard. Go ahead, Soph.
I had like the last 2 weeks, I've had more bookings and more bookings that have held than I probably have ever in my business, like in that short amount of time. And literally I just messaged, hey girl, I'm booking moms for Mother's Day. Like that's literally all it was. So I know that that's already passed, but since like summer's coming up, I would say like you could message students or you could message teachers, be like, hey girl, I'm booking teachers for summer. Like literally, but like what does your schedule look like? And so that would just be something super simple. Same thing with like students, like college students. Now is a really, really great time to get in with them. So just like Shaunda was saying, keeping it simple, but I have had even the more results with that, with people replying and withholding, rather than sending them like this big long thing that no one really wants to read anyways, right?
Please don't do that. Okay. If you are in our family, we did not train you to do that. I don't know who did, but we did not. I don't know about you guys, but if you ever see that, how many of you are like, nope? Anybody else? Anybody else see a long message and you're like, this is for me, unless it is your best friend. Okay, that's it. You're like, girl, what happened? Okay, right? But like anybody else, no. You can be like, hey, girl, what are you doing on Saturday? And I'm going back to the basics with that. And it's so great having a fresh perspective with Sophia because I have been in Mary Kay for 12 years and my hold rate is pretty perfection. And the reason is because I've mastered it. And I in connecting so much, rarely do I have people cancel on me. And so that is my goal for you as you work your business, moving forward with that you're able to have an awesome holding rate, just like Sophia was saying. Carlia, did you have something real quick,
Yeah,
babe?
just real quick. On the booking and everything, I was just trying to get people to like talk to people, just saying hi, how are you doing, and starting the conversation is always like helped me to get started on the inviting people and or getting into the like being nice. And I mean I try to be nice all the time, but you know, but just saying hi, how are you doing, and not just smiling, just saying hi, and then that kind of opens the door up and everything. So that was another thing that when
Yeah,
start
so good, Carlia. Yes, and I just want you to hear 2 different things that I'm going to say before I move to the next thing. If you're talking to someone about Mary Kay and someone, let's say I'm in front of her and I say, oh, I do Mary Kay, and maybe, or she said something about Mary Kay. So I could say something like, oh, like, do you have, I don't know, have you tried things, or like, oh, I don't know, would you want to? Something washy, whatever it may be. Or I might like kind of touch her hand. I'm like, girl, have you tried our new skincare set? Or you've tried skincare, right? Or like my tone for her is like, oh, you've had it, right? Like, or what are you missing? And so being confident when you're talking to women is very important. Most people, the way that I'll speak, they're like, oh my gosh, like I need it. Like, what am I missing? Tell me, right? And so you will master that the more people that you talk to. Go ahead, Soph.
I was booking someone in person the other day doing that. And basically like warm treading her, being like, hey, would you like, you would want to do this, right? And before I even finish my sentence, she's like nodding her head and like pulling her phone out, wanting to like book with me. And so that's the type of tone and excitement that you have to where they're like so excited, nodding their head. And then they're gonna hold, like, that's one thing, is they're definitely gonna hold because that's insurance of like they're super excited, and then when you're connecting and you're coaching that appointment, they're definitely gonna hold.
Yeah. So true. And you guys, I usually always book my appointments in person. Still not knowing a lot. Well, it doesn't matter where you live. And so that's not for everyone. I do know some nationals, what Sophia was called, like, is what we call warm chatter. By the way, I was in Mary Kay for like 6 months and had my red jacket before I even understood what that was. So I just want you to know you could do Mary Kay if you have no idea what we're talking about. But it just being like, it'll just help you with your business and it will help them hold when they meet you in person. And then, anyway, so there's some nationals that will never do that ever and they don't do it. And then there's some that's how they built their business. And when Mary Kay did a cruise, that is how I figured out how awesome my superpower is because of how many people I recruited and I was having a blast, you guys. So that's another, we'll have to get into that, but there's so many things we could have a like session talking about that forever. And we could have another one the next day and all the things, but you will never get better at it if you do not start. There are some people that I talk to and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was awful. Like walking to the car. And so you might definitely have times that you're like, okay, I can make that better. How do I make it quicker? Or how do I do it better? Right. So that's where I just want you to start. The topic of today is to start. Okay. All right. So when you get in front of them and you have them booked, and please, if you see this later, make sure that you message us if there's something that you loved or if you have questions about. I want to make sure there's always clarification if you need more training. And this is why our company is different because of that. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to try to get all of this done in 15 minutes. We're going to try to get this done, maybe 20. Okay, so when we're sitting down with someone, I use different set sheets. We'll get these posted. So this was one of the ones that we used on Saturday, and this is one of the ones that I really, really love to use. Sorry, I don't have them to pull up. Okay. And so these are set sheets. The reason why I want you to see these, because when you're doing Mary Kay, if you pull out a catalog, I know it seems like that is so helpful for people, but it's extremely overwhelming. I do not even like going to the Cheesecake Factory because their menu is a book. Like, I don't even, like, that's what I think about before we even go there. I don't want to be a part of that at all. So, having a set sheet of what you used, like, and I'm just going to use this one. This is a lot what we use for new consultants because it also helps you being easy. All of these products are in my roll-up bag. Curly, you said, when am I going to post it? Okay, usually I'll post it in our Facebook group, but if you guys do not have our boards yet, you can have one boards for free, and that is where I'm getting all of our resources uploaded to, so you can always find it. Okay, so we'll make sure that we post that link again so you can find anything for our unit. But I'm trying to figure out, I'll let you guys vote on here. I am trying to decide, do I want like party or do we want just set sheets? I don't know. Like what is the best title for those? I'll let you guys post and see what you think is the best. Okay, so at the end, when I'm walking her through the skincare, and hear me, every skincare class that I have looks very different. Okay, if she's a one-on-one, thank you, so set sheets. So if I have a one-on-one, it's going to be a little bit different. And usually she is at my sink, like at the counter at my house. Or if I'm at her house, I walk her I'm like, okay, let's go to the bathroom. And we literally do the class and I'm like squirting it into her hand. And so it's sometimes if there's two, I might do that with two people versus sitting at the table. And I learned something new. We might have to politely ask Sophia if she'll do a video. Sophia puts her water in spray bottles. And well, so if I'll just let you talk about it. So you can have a bowl of water. You can have them at the sink. And then, or Sophia has spray bottles. You could tell us in just a minute. I know she's got baby Cassius. So so when they wash their face, what the point is, wherever you're at, you can walk them through the skincare. Okay. That is what I'm telling you. So these are, this one is the repair one. And then we do have one that has just the miracle set. Okay. So you're going to walk them through the skincare and then after you get done, this is the part that we're going to talk about too. I think we might need to do another live skincare class. Okay. We'll go from there. Now, you'll set the set sheet down. I also am going to show you the beauty profile really quickly. Sophia made this, okay? The reason why Sophia made this is because we said lots of different things, and she helped us simplify this. And so this is the back of it. I also, and we have a link for this on, I know I'm being a little jumbled because it's a lot of information, but I'm trying to keep it simple. If you do not have this piece of paper, I'm going to show you how you can do it on the profile card, okay? So do not feel like you need to print a whole lot of stuff, but let me tell you, I printed $148 worth of color papers. Okay. This is literally before I drove to Oklahoma. And I don't even know how many pages. I'll have to look it up. But the point is, my total was $148. They put the Mary Kay thing in, it was $38. 148 to $38. So I want to tell you, Mary Kay takes care of you when it comes to copies. And so you can set it all up on your InTouch. And I'm so grateful that they do that. So if you don't have a place that you can do that, there's a way that you can sign up and do a and do your like they used to have it where you emailed it, but now you need to do it through Mary Kay. It's a whole thing that you set up and it's fine. But they generally know all the Mary Kay people. And so even the girl that was ringing me up, you guys, this was her face. She goes, huh. Like that. That's, and I'm like, yeah, that's when you know Mary Kay's taking care of it. So if you're worried about price, do not order it without the Mary Kay discount. Okay. And then you can order a bunch of these. All right. I'm going to tell you the reason why I love it is because I feel like women don't get to fill out pretty paper anymore about themselves. And so I believe there's an art to that with your appointment. Okay. So if she fills this out, she's going to fill out the beauty profile when she sits down. Okay. And then this is where she can write down her friends. Now, what I say on this part, if she is, well, just in general, if I'm at 3 or more, I'm like, okay, girl, like if you were stranded on an island, who are the people that would keep you alive? And they're always like laughing. And sometimes the person's there. She's like, she, this and this. And so I'm like, okay, if they're not here, like those are the friends that I want to gift a gift card to from you. Because I know those are your friends that are there for you, right? And so I'll have them fill that out. Sometimes I have a free gift on here because I usually have a gift that I will give them for filling that out. And this just helps me know who her top friends are. And then I'll tell them too, like, hey, write down a note if there's something that I need to know about her. And I will let them know this is what it kind of sounds like. And it just helps me connect with them a little bit better on when I'm messaging their friends. Now, if you want to go an extra step, I feel like I need more time to talk about this, but we're just going to run through it. For an extra step, if for example, it was Sophia's party, I'm going to do a selfie with me and Sophia, and I'm going to attach that to the script that I send them. Okay. To the person on filling this part out, right? So, depending on time, you might do that first, or honestly, I might do that first. I might do that in the middle, but generally never at the end. So usually before, but worst case scenario, if something happens, I might have to do it last. But you want to make sure you have a lot of energy, you know, when you're doing that and also connecting. And then we do the back when they're doing their charcoal mask, but this part is for the end. Okay. So their favorite things is for the end. I used to say write it during, but then that was weird. So I just said, hey, when they get done, I'm like, okay, we're going to close everybody, but start writing your favorite things or any notes that you want to write for me in that big pink spot on the back. Okay. And then I might remind them while they're waiting. Well, I say not at the end, but while they're waiting, hey, if you haven't filled out your whole list, don't forget I have a gift for you. And I probably would have that in front of them, in front of the table so they know what they're getting. Okay. All right. So when we're closing the table, then I'm going to say, I'm trying to figure out what order we'll go in. Well, I'll just talk about the Mrs. Cap, but I'll have to do that on a different video. So when you're going through the skincare class and they have while they have the charcoal mask on, that is when you're going to go through this. Okay. And you're going to say, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Mary Kay. And I'm going to do it in 6 different, you could say in the 6 different boxes, because confident women need to know information to make any choices, or also understand what they're supporting, right? And so M is money, R is recognition, S is self-confidence, C is cars, A is advancement, B is be your own boss. I have 25 different versions of this. And so whatever you want to put, if you just want to say one thing about each, it's wonderful. Okay. At the end, I'm like, circle your favorite. Then in the pink box, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to give you 3 letters. C is, I just want to be a great customer. And you might say something funny, like, I'd rather eat dirt, or, I don't know. And then B is like, okay, Shaunda, I hear you, but I want a little bit information. And then A is like, let's get started. What do you want to add, Soph?
I'm pretty proud of how I've perfected that little ABC part, and everyone always like it gets a giggle. So I say, okay, I need you to write ABC for me. A is absolutely, I want to sign up right this second. Like, I gotta have it. B is, you know what? Bring me some more information. I need to read something. I need to chat about it, and we'll talk about that later. And then C is like, girl, you real cute, but I'm just gonna be a customer. And then they always giggle. And it's easy for me to remember because A, absolutely, B, bring, and then C, customer. And personally, I have to have like those letter type things to be able to remember what each stands for. So that is how I do it.
Perfect. And if you do not perfect this when you do this, it is okay. The point is that you will get great the more that you do this. And so I don't want you to be hung up on, again, you can look off your phone when you read it, off notes. You don't need to have it all memorized, okay? It'll make you better by even looking at it and saying it as well. Now, if you're using the profile card, I have them use because I want to use this for if they have any friend's name, I use this box right here. So I do MRSCAB, and then I'll have them write one of the letter wherever on there. Okay. So if you don't have the paper, I use this little part, and I will have them fill in the MRSCAB. Okay. With that. Okay. I'm going to see how fast I can do this. So with the close. So with their, after we get done with everything, and then after that part, they're going to take off their mask, okay? And then I'm going to let everybody know before we started, let them know I'm going to meet with everyone. And you guys bear with me, because when I'm not actually doing this, I miss a few things because I'm not in my zone and I'm staring at you. So I'm going to go over the set sheet and let them know this is what you used. And as I've done the facial, they've seen the full size, so they're going to see it there and see it on here, right? And so I'm going to go over it. And then if I have any deals like the free roll-it bag, I'm going to do the deals with that. Okay. And then that's how I would let them know, hey, write down your special. Some people already be like, I want that thing that, like you said, whatever. So we're going to go over that. And then when I sit down with everybody, I do have a sales ticket. I do fill everything out on my customers, but some women really want to see what the number is. And so I've continued to do it this way. And then for new consultants, if you are a senior and above, I fill this out so they can visually see what everything looks like when adding up the tax. Okay. So if I'm sitting down with someone, she's going to say, okay, I want the repair set. I'm going to say, okay, great. So right the repair set, I'm going to say anything else. And she's going to say, oh, I want this. I'm like, okay, anything else. I just say this. I'm just going to keep writing. I'm like, okay, anything else? She'll say, no, that's it. So I'm going to add up her total. Okay. And get the sale. And then I'm also going to look at the back of her thing. And if she put A, I'm going to say, girl, you circled A. Okay, we're going to send you the link right now. If she circled B, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to give you some more information. Do you like to read a lot, or do you like to watch videos, or do you like both? Okay, I'm going to find out where she is with that. And then if she circled C, I'm going to say, okay, girl, is this like not now or not never? Like, just tell me where you're at. And I always let them know during that too. I love my customers. Like, that's how we earn diamond rings, is with our customers. So please know we're not in the business of just signing people up. So I make that very clear as well. Okay, so then when I am having a close and booking more appointments, this is the part I really wanted to get to. If I have there's a couple of things. If I have a hostess, and I've done both, if I have a hostess, I'm going to say, listen, she needs 2 more bookings to complete her $100 free or whatever your hostess program is. You could make it up, you could find one, it's whatever you want to be, but I usually will attach something to getting 2 bookings at the party. Or if I'm not doing that, and or I got this from the director's call that I had a couple months ago, and they just wrap up little boxes or big boxes and say, if you book an appointment and you schedule the date, you can take this box home with you. Now, that is more money up front, so that's why I'm giving you a couple of different options when it comes to booking the second appointment, and you get great results from that. Now, not everybody's going to want to book an appointment. Okay. And I hate to say that I was the person that you would never call to book a party with. Ever. That was not who I was. Did I want to support them? Absolutely. Would I talk about them to other people? Yes. But I was not the one to ever host. And if someone pushed that on me, I would not have liked that at all. So I want you to know that having a party is an option. And the reason why I say this, I was talking to Kay about this. We used to really, really push like the second appointment. And everybody's different on how they do their Mary Kay business, but not everybody wants a second appointment. Not everybody wants to do color. Not everybody wants to get their friends together. And that is okay, because we're going to meet her where she's at. Okay. So, so that is how, does anyone have any questions about that? So that is how I walk through the close. Now, you can try to make it go as perfect as you want to. And sometimes it gets really wild. Like one time, everybody was drinking wine, and I learned my lesson. If people start drinking, it will be the fastest skincare class you've ever seen from me, but it will be very, very like detailed. Okay. All in a fast manner, because they were very slow when they were selling, because they kept forgetting things and it was wild. So I made a note. Okay, this did not go exactly how I wanted it to. And as you get better and as you get more confident, things will flow better for you as far as booking a different appointment or however it may be. So if I have a someone who's throwing a party and I say, hey, she needs 2 more, I'm going to let them know this is what we're going to do at the party. And then I also let them know that they're going to be getting like an extra goodie bag for holding one. Okay. And they're going to say how many people. I'm going to say 3 to 5. And just because that's easy to manage when it comes to booking the second appointment. Okay. And then so after you meet with everybody and you put that on your calendar, that's also why you need to know what days you work. Because she's like, I want to hold a party. And you're like, well, what day? She's like, I don't know. What day do you have? That gets weird too. So you could say, okay, I have Tuesdays and I have Saturdays, which works best for you. Or it might be Thursdays and I have Saturdays, which works best for you. And then you can book it right there. Okay. And I think that was everything with our clothes. I'll be posting everything with that. And you guys just hear me, this takes practice. And I know I ran through a lot of it and we'll be able to break it down a little bit more, but this takes practice. And so every time that you do it, you'll get better at it. Some will be easier than others when it comes to the close. But I want you to ask lots of questions when it comes to closing her and find out like what she likes and what's happening. And some people may not buy anything, and that's okay when it comes to that with your individual clothes. So, all right, my friends, thank you for joining us. And okay, this just gave me a thought too. We're working on getting videos out to you guys, do consultant videos, but I also am going to do videos of the individual clothes. So you guys will be able to watch it, hear it, and see it. And then you can execute it. Now, as you grow into leadership, you probably will do things as well. We want you to do it as we teach you. And then some of you that are in Sophia's family, you might do a certain things the way Sophia does. And that's how it's supposed to be. So as you grow from a sales director and as you are a red jacket and you start moving up, you learn how to do the basic and then you start twisting it on how it works for you. And so I want you to know that there's different girls that we've heard. I think Sophia and I heard last week on a director call that she found a whole new way to book appointments as she was in DIQ. And so I want you to find what works for you with that. But at the end, when it's the book, sell, coach, and recruit at your parties, that will never go away. Now, the way that you do it might be a little bit different, but the basis of this, like, is where it's at with your parties. Because the worst thing ever is you doing a facial and her just leaving. And so this also gives you a visual when you have a closing sheet. These give you visuals. And then too, I don't know where I put it because I've been shuffling things. Oh, it's underneath here. And the beauty profile gives you a visual. So it also makes you look more professional and gives her something to look at while you're talking. And if you don't have any of that, it's kind of difficult to also like follow along and be like, like it just makes you be more official with all of that. Okay, my friends, I'll be posting these links. I appreciate you, and I am praying over your businesses, praying over your families, and praying over great success. So your challenge is for you to go book 3 people. And if you really want to do like a challenge plus, it would invite them to all bring a friend. So get that booking down, make it simple, make it fun, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.